Hello, okay, this quick tutorial is going to be just about using the bridge tool, and we're going to make a little cartoon hand to show how we can join polygons using the bridge tool. All right, to get started, we'll do a cube, and we'll go ahead and make that cube 200 by 50 in the Y, and then leave it at 200 there. And going to need some subdivisions in here, so let's go to our display, road chaining lines. And on our X, let's give it 3 subdivisions. And then in the Z, let's give it 2. So that way we've got some geometry to work with once we make it editable. So now we can make it editable. Just hit C or click on this icon up here. And now this is going to be the sort of palm of our hand, whatever the meat portion of the hand. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple fingertips and our thumb tip. So let's make a cube. And on this cube, let's go 45, 45, 45. I'm going to go to my move tool, and then we'll just leave it at segments of 1, 1, 1. Select my cube, hit my move tool E, and I'm going to go to my top view just so I can judge what I'm doing here. And I'm going to move this guy out here. I'm going to go ahead and make him editable, and then I'm going to rotate him maybe 20 degrees. Just held down Shift to constrain that rotation. And now I'm going to copy him and paste, Command C, Command V. Go ahead and hit our move tool again. Bring him over near the center, a little bit further up. Rotate him back to 0. So negative 20 degrees. Copy, paste one more time for the fingertips. Move the new one over here. And rotate it. Let's stick with our 20 degrees fun. All right. And then one more copy and paste for the tip of our thumb. And we will move that just down here somewhere. All right. So to make things easier, what we're going to want to do is connect this so it becomes one object. So if I select all of my cubes, and they're all editable, make sure they're all editable, and I'm going to right-click and do Connect Objects and Delete. So what that does is it creates all of this as one object. If I select one, it selects them all. And just to show that an object doesn't need to have geometry connecting it, there could be polygons anywhere and points and edges all over the place, unconnected, but it still is contained in one object. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use our bridge tool to connect these guys. So I'm going to go to my polygon tool, go to my select tool. Now this 10 radius selection is probably too big, so I'm going to go ahead and make that down to 1. And make sure only select visible object is on for this one. So I'm going to click here, rotate around, shift click. Now if I hit B for my bridge tool, you can see you get a little guidance. So I click and hold and then drag to the corresponding corner so that I get a nice connection. Now I'm going to undo that and show you if you go to the wrong corner, you're going to get twisted polygons, which will give you some crazy shading errors. And even if you go to the total opposite corner, you can see they're even getting into each other, which is not good. You don't want that. So always try and go to your corresponding corner. And then if you hit spacebar, go back to your select tool. And I'm going to hit Option D to turn off my axis so it's not in the way. So Option D. So I'm in my select, rotate around, shift select. Hit space to go back to my bridge tool, or B if you've done something else in between. Remember, space always switches between your last tool and your current tool. So hit space to go back again. Rotate around, shift select, B for bridge. And let's do our thumb area here, space, shift select, B. And we've got a pretty ugly looking cartoon hand. So that's what we can do now is just throw it into a subdivision surface just to get that smoothing to happen. And that's starting to look a little better already. And again, at this point now you could go in and we've got this small geometry creating this object. So we could go into our points tool, go to our select, maybe bring up, I'm going to hit Option D to bring back my axis. So we could bring that up for a little bit there. If we wanted to, get some of this up around the knuckles a little, go to our selection. So maybe move that up a little. Bring this guy up. If you wanted to match, so this one, let's go to our loop tool, UL. So if I grab this loop, and I want to rotate it a little so it matches, the direction of the finger a bit more, kind of an in-between, we could do that. We could go back into polygons, say we wanted to get all three of these. Shift select. And we could hit D for extrude out a little. Maybe scale it a little bit down here, but maybe scale it up in the Y. And then D to extrude again. Start getting some kind of arm. Go back to our points if we wanted to bring these up a little. And you can always subdivide and use your knife tool to get more geometry, etc. But so that's kind of the thing there with the bridge tool, just how you can create your geometry. Maybe select those and pull them in a little. All right. So it's not beautiful by any means, but just to get the idea of how you could get started with something like that. Let's go ahead and I'll do a new file real quick. And so again, just to show, if we have a cube, let's do a cube, and let's make it 250, 200. And I'm going to make it 3, 1, 3 on the segments. And then let's make it editable by hitting C. Oh, make sure that's 3. And make it editable. Now if we go to our display, grow out shading lines, this will just give us another quick idea of what the bridge tool can do. So in this example, I'm going to go ahead and display lines. Well, let's go back to grow out shading lines first. I'm going to select these two center ones, and in the wheel tutorial we did this, but just to show it simply, if we just select two polygons in a object that's already exists. Now if we delete these, remember these are it's just a shell. Okay, it's not solid by any means. Polygonal modelers are just doing the polygons on the outside, so there's nothing inside. But what's cool about the bridge tool is if you hit bridge, and we'll go to display lines so we can see where we want to go to. If we do bridge on those existing polygons, you can see all of a sudden we get some geometry here, and if we go back to our grow out shading lines, you can see it created a hole for us. Now we could have deleted those two polygons and then used the bridge tool and edge 1, 2, 3, 4 times and created all those, or used the create polygon tool and done the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 each one. But this is much nicer as far as it does it for you, and you've got that geometry automatically. So just to show the points and the edges as well, I'm going to go ahead to my selection. Let's get rid of a couple polygons. Let's just do UL. I'm going to grab all these polygons out here with a loop selection and hit delete. So now we've just got this no polygons on the outside. So if we needed to create polygons, we could go, we could do our create polygon tool. So right here, I right-clicked ME while I'm in my points mode. And that basically you draw your entire polygon. So that's one way to do it. We can also go back to our points tool and hit back to our bridge tool, and we could just, let's say we're here, we're in points mode 1, 2, and the cool thing about that is we can keep going. So if I rotate around, that's still selected, so I could do another and then another. All right, that's in points mode. If we were in edges mode, we could do the same thing. Let me rotate around this side. So I could grab that edge to that edge. Oops, that edge to that edge. So you can see that's the same thing. And now we could go this edge to this edge, closing those holes up. And then in polygon mode, we've already done that, but if we did it on this corner, for example, since it's an open form, we're going to get a little bit maybe of an unexpected result. So go Shift, select these two, and I'm going to bridge in my polygon mode. And what's going to happen is it's going to create the geometry around it, but usually if you're creating geometry inside something, it's not going to want to double up polygons, so it went ahead and deleted those for you. So what you'd want to do if you want those left, we can undo and then uncheck this in the bridge options, uncheck delete original polygons. So right now there's no polygons that would interfere, so we can go ahead and say, okay, there you go. Now we've got 4 polygons inside, which for this could be sort of strange. If it will create some issues with a subdivision surface. We're going to get a sharper edge there because of it. But that's, you can see where that can maybe cause some troubles there. But that's sort of the bridge tool in a nutshell. And I hope that helps out for you. All right, thanks.